Hi, everyone. I am Monica Moses. I am a fifth year student here at West Virginia University in the PhD program for economics. And this is ECON200 Surveys of Economics, all right? So because this course is asynchronous and because of that, we're never going to necessarily meet on a regular basis. And I'm not going to be giving lectures on a regular basis by any means. So what I wanted to do going into this course is kind of just give an overview of everything that's going to come your way this fall. I want to just talk about the course itself and the design and what you'll need to do to keep up the pace in this course. Like I said, because this is an asynchronous course, all the deadlines, all the chapters, all the content, it is already planned out. It is already ready for you to work through. I am here for obviously extra help, extra aid. I'm here to give you supplemental materials to help work through that content and those concepts, okay, that you're going to read about. But like I said, all this work, one thing about this class, all this work is going to be on your own accord, all right? So with that being said, what I want to make sure we do is take a look at that course calendar. I want you all to take a look at what the fall is going to look like if you anticipate missing any assignments, any exams, and reach out to me as soon as possible. So I just want to go through kind of the course design itself and how you guys should stay on track, all right? So this is how to best succeed in this course. Like I said, I'm just going to go through this, our basic eCampus page and kind of point out some of the things that I want you guys to take a look at before starting the class itself and get you on a roll with the modules and the actual course content, okay? So first of all, when we come to our eCampus course page, what I want you to do is immediately go to the syllabus and course documents page. So on this page, one, we're gonna see our course deadlines. So our class is made up of 4 different categories for grading purposes. That is going to be pack-back, that is going to be our journaling, that is going to be our exams, and our extended assignments, okay? So 4 different kind of grading categories. In addition to that, what you guys are going to need to do in lieu of if we were to meet for class or lecture or whatever, what you will do is work through these materials on your own. So you're going to read about these economic concepts in a book, our textbook called Commercial Society. So Commercial Society is a really readable textbook. It's awesome to introduce you to these concepts in the real world and how applicable they are, even if you're not an economics major. So in addition to that reading, I will be posting little tutorials, little guided notes, as well as practice problems to help test your own knowledge on these concepts, all right? So in addition to the syllabus page, we have our modules to book chapters. So we're going to start with module 1, and we're going to go through a module each week just about. The pace at which we will go through our modules can be found in this whole course schedule and in the syllabus as well, right here under this link. So one other thing I want you all to do is take a look at the syllabus and read through it thoroughly. Anything you will need for this course can probably 99% of the time be found in the syllabus, okay? So in addition to these first week tasks, like I said, I would like you guys all to read through that syllabus. I would like you to look through that calendar, take down the calendar due dates. Like I said, I'm very flexible. I'm very easy to work with so long as you give me heads up and that communication is there, okay? Thirdly, I want you to take a look at just the eCampus page itself, get comfortable with the folders we have, know where things are. Number 4 is going to be register for pack-back, which I discussed was one of our 4 grading categories. Pack-back is going to be in place of class participation. So because of the asynchronous nature, pack-back is going to be where you respond and talk with other students as well as myself. I'll be able to moderate these discussion boards. And so we'll talk a little bit more about pack-back, so we'll hold off on that, but just know that this week I would like you all to get registered and signed up for pack-back. I believe it's about $20. And because you will not need to buy your textbook, we'll talk about that in a second. this will be your only cost for this course, all right? So in addition to that packback registration, what we want to do is get a copy of Commercial Society, whether you want to purchase this text, whether you want to rent it, you can find it on Amazon, the bookstore, or what I would recommend is to get a hold of the copy from the library online database. So the free PDF of this book is available through the interlibrary loan service. You'll just have to go through and request it through your student account, all right? So that is all the housekeeping things we need to get taken care of before really getting started on this class, all right? So once you guys get all of that done, what I'm gonna have you do is start to go through actual modules and actual content, okay? And like I said, along with that reading content, along with everything, I will post guided notes and videos, short video lectures, multiple choice questions, extended response questions to help you test yourself as you read, okay? So the reading is going to be really important. The whole class, this entire class is really based off of this book, Commercial Society. So reading is going to be really important. That is what you are required to do in lieu of meeting regularly 3 times a week, okay? You need to make sure you're reading and checking your own knowledge. So I'll test you as much as I can, as much as effective out of those 4 grading categories. But anything in addition to that is going to be on your own accord, okay? So if you put the effort in, I promise you, you will do just fine in this class, okay? As long as you also keep up with the deadlines and keep on pace with the way the class is moving, okay? And if anybody ever feels like maybe you're starting to get dragged behind a little, you're falling a little behind, you feel you're not keeping up with the pace, reach out to me, send me an email, and we will work through this together. The course itself is, like I said, the pace it goes at a decent speed, but as long as you keep up with these readings, these journals, and your deadlines, you'll be totally fine. All right, so I talked about, or I referenced packback in the syllabus section. So packback, like I said, is going to take place at that discussion in this course, the classroom discussion. So just to show you kind of what packback looks like, in order to complete these the deadline is going to be bi-weekly. So every other week, in order to complete them, you're gonna have to go through this eCampus link to launch packback, okay? This is for gradebook purposes. So here's what our packback looks like. We are going to be, here is our community feed. So here is our ECON200 discussion post, or our discussion board, okay? So within this discussion board, or whatever, packback discussion, each deadline, what I'm going to do is set a few topics that your questions should be based around. For this first deadline, I am going to keep it very broad. Any kind of economics, any kind of question you have coming into this course, I would like you to ask for the first week. So that could be something like, how is economics useful in the workplace? And to get full credit and to get those the full score, you'll have to go on and explain a little, elaborate about that question. You can cite sources, you can use images, things like that will all boost up your score. Your score is estimated as you go. So packback is an AI system that actually will grade your questions based on quality as you write. And you will be able to see that final grade once it's posted. It's not always, like I said, it's an estimate as you're typing. Once it's posted, you will be able to see how many points you received for it. And in order to get credit for the post, you will need at least 60 curiosity points, okay, or more. 60 points or more for each question, as well as each 2 responses. So for each deadline, you're not only going to have to ask one question based on some kind of topics in economics, but you're also going to have to respond to 2 of your classmates' questions, okay? So 1 question and 2 responses with a minimum of 60 points every other week. you can make sure you have hundreds down the chart, down your grade book, as long as you are cautious of those deadlines. Like I said, they're bi-weekly just about, and our first one is going to be due next Friday, the 26th. So they're all going to be due by midnight, but I recommend that you do them as early as possible when starting content on a new module or a new chapter. Do them as early as possible. People will start to take up your questions, and if questions are repeated within the discussion board, or if a question is not so up to par, a question, something slipped through the AI system, I am able to moderate. So just because you get a post on there that says 60 points, if I go through and moderate it, you will get a notification saying you need to edit it in order to get that full credit for the week. All right. Packback might seem a little confusing right now. I swear, as we get started, it will make a lot more sense. I actually would be able, let's go through and take a look at old communities. So I can look at, let's go to principles. So this is a totally different course, so the questions aren't the same, but you can start to get the idea of what type of questions we're supposed to be asking. I don't want close-ended textbook solution type questions, if that makes sense. What I'm looking for is, so in this example, the topics were taxes, externalities, and subsidies. So you could ask any kind of question based on those topics, okay? So some of the questions asked about these externalities and taxes and subsidies. So this one right here is a pretty good question. Do taxes or subsidies typically bring more social benefit? So this is a question that's not as straightforward. It can't be answered through a textbook. This is something that will spark a little discussion, okay? So that is the point of this packback. You want to be able to spark discussion between you and your classmates, all right? So those really good questions are going to be the ones that get people talking the most, get people responding or answering to, sharing their opinion or their thoughts or views on. I'm not looking for how do we find the slope of the demand curve. Those aren't the type of questions I'm looking for, okay? So like I said, these questions could be basic everyday questions. What happens if price discrimination ceases to exist? So things that, once again, that's not a straightforward answer. Let me see if I can find. Okay, so a do you think question. So something like this, do you think some businesses alter their demand curve based on their product when examining the fact that consumers have to pay a tax on the product? So asking about what do businesses do once individuals have this information on taxes, on increased subsidies, on so on and so forth. So like I said, these aren't straightforward questions. I do not want a straightforward question. I want something that will get people talking, that gets opinions out there, okay? All right. So that is packback. There is an additional instructional video here in the packback folder. If you would like to go through and still feel a little uneasy about packback, go through, watch that. Class videos and practice. This is going to be where I post those supplemental notes, the guided notes, the multiple choice questions, extended response questions, different checks for your reading, okay? So these class videos and practice, this isn't necessarily, none of this is going to be graded. It's not going to be like have a deadline, but these class videos and practices are for you and you alone, all right, to check your knowledge. Because like I said, this class it's different than an in-person class because I don't have that one-to-one contact with you, okay? I don't know how you're keeping up with this material, how you're learning these materials. I don't know if you genuinely are deep down understanding these materials until you go through, test yourself, and then come to me with any questions you might have or any confusion you might have on the topics, all right? So with all that being said, I just want everybody to make sure you understand the materials. And if you ever find yourself lost or no idea what to do, shoot me an email, all right? I usually respond most times of the day, but like I said, for this course and the pace itself, you need to make sure you're checking your own knowledge, all right? Because I'm not going to be able to necessarily do that every single day for you guys. So that just another part of keeping up with the pace and whatnot of the course. This exams folder is going to be where all your exams are. Your exams will open at 8 a.m. on test day, and they will close at midnight that same night. Exams 1, 2, and 3, I believe, are all on Fridays. Our final exam will be during the final exam week on that Wednesday. Don't quote me on that. Check the syllabus. That's what I would tell you. That's what I'm going to tell myself. Check the syllabus. I do believe those first 3 exams are Fridays, and then that last one is a Wednesday. So in addition to those exams, what you're going to need to do on those exam days is use Respondus in order to take your test, okay? So Respondus is just a platform that is going to monitor you, record you as you take your test, making sure you're not using any outside materials or whatnot. So if you have not used Respondus before, there is an entire folder with instructions, videos, whatnot, on downloading Respondus. If you want to test your own Respondus lockdown, you can use the mock test to make sure you're all set and good to go before that exam 1. And then the link to download the Respondus lockdown browser itself is right here. So if you have yet to download it on your computer, please follow this link and this link only to download, okay? Because I want to make sure everybody is downloading the correct Respondus lockdown browser. So if you do have Respondus and it doesn't seem to be working, my first troubleshooting tip would be to delete your Respondus from your computer, all files, all documents, and then re-downloading it, all right? Journaling. So in addition to reading, one way I'm going to be able to grade you based on reading and just completeness and whatnot, making sure that you're doing the assignments, is going to be this journaling. So for each chapter you read, so each module has a set of chapters, and for each chapter you need to write a journal entry. So this module 1 journal will take me to my journal for chapters 1, 3, 5, 7, and 8. And then I will create a new journal entry for each chapter. All right. So more instructions can be found on this in that module folder or that journaling folder. I'm not looking for anything crazy here. I'm not looking for perfect note taking by any means. I'm just looking for evidence of comprehending the materials, evidence of that you're putting critical thought into these readings and not just reading what the pages have to say, okay? I really want you to think about the materials and truly understand it to its core, to understand why it's applicable in real life, in business, in whatever. Okay, so those are the journals. Those will be due the night before our exams. So we'll have 4 deadlines, 4 exams, 4 journal deadlines. Like I said, it'll be the night before, due at midnight. Every chapter needs an entry. However you go about taking notes. So I will say, I'm not looking for any specific format. You may take notes however you feel most helpful. This is really, it's for me to be able to track your participation, but it is also for you to be able to record down and work through these concepts, okay, on your own. So like I said, I don't want you just reading. I want you critically thinking, taking notes. However you do that, 6 to 7 sentences. You can use bullet points. You don't have to use full sentences, but I do want evidence of critical thinking, okay? So here is my chapter 1 mock journal entry. You can go through that and see what I'm kind of looking for. All right, so extended assignments are going to be something we talk about as the semester progresses. We'll have 3 of them. The first one will be a graphing assignment. So you will be doing supply and demand graphing. Second assignment, I think we're going to choose research papers and any kind of economic research paper and write a summary on that. Then that third extended response or extended assignment is going to be based on the Fed's annual meeting. So they hold a meeting once a quarter to go over different things in the economy. So I'm going to have you guys read or watch that, go through and do a little analysis. Okay. So those are your 3 extended assignments. Like I said, we'll talk about the deadlines, more about assignment details as the semester progresses. Okay. Commercial Society book resources. Here is the link to that library database website where you can find that free PDF of Commercial Society. This link right here will take you to Commercial Society's resources, which has a lot of different like media, so news stories, videos, things you can play around with different different concepts through these media resources. Okay, so if you have any trouble and you want maybe to read up or read a little more into a certain concept, go right to this media resources page and you can search by topic, you can search by chapter. It's a whole list of extra resources for you to understand this material, okay? Announcements and emails. This is where you will find all of my announcements for this class. So here's our first welcome email for today. Like I said, this is just outlining what I need you to do for this upcoming week through next week. Lastly is going to be office hours. I'm holding office hours Mondays, Tuesdays from 10 to 11:30 a.m. The link is going to be the same. This is the link that you are also going to use if we schedule a meeting outside of class time, outside of those office hours times. We're always going to use this link for whenever, if you plan to meet with me, okay? So this is where you'll find that. So with all that being said, do we have anything else to talk about? Journals, reading, extended assignments, exams, backpack. All right, so that's the course. Like I said, this course design itself might take a few weeks of getting the hang of, getting into the routine of, but once you realize we're doing the same thing for every module, every chapter, it'll start to get much easier. You'll know what you need to do. Okay, so if there are any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at mmm0110@mix.wvu.edu at any point this semester, any time of the day. It doesn't even have to be about this class. If you have any questions, any hesitations, just anything in general you need to talk to me about, please feel free to reach out. I am here to help you in this course. I am your professor in this course for a reason. I'm not necessarily going to sit here and lecture to you, but I am here to guide you and aid you through these materials, okay? And in the meantime, I hope you all have a good start of your semesters, and I will talk to you in office hours. Office hours will start next week, and I will keep everyone else posted. One other thing I wanted to mention is that each week I will try and send out an update on where you should be, what you should be working on, what needs done, any deadlines that week as well, okay? So just to keep the pace up, keep you where you need to be, I'll probably send an email out every Monday-ish, okay? All right, well, like I said, that completes this Econ 200 class just about, and I wish you all the best, and I will talk soon.